It's fine. My alarm is going off telling me that it's 10 o'clock, both time to take my meds and to check in on you. So how are you doing this Friday morning? Welcome to Coffee with Tim. My name is Tim Haig. I am a speaker and author. I have Parkinson's disease and I'm a PD Avenger. If you don't know what a PD Avenger is, head over to my website, timsenior.ca. You'll find some information there that will lead you to the PD Avenger site. Welcome to Coffee with Tim, a conversation on life and Parkinson's. So welcome. Hope you're all doing fantastic today. Hope things are going well for you. If it's not, I hope it improves quickly. So I thought I would update you first on, we'll get to my title there, that my wife is gone here momentarily. She's not gone, but she is gone. But first and foremost, many of you may note that the beard is slowly coming back. Yes, I shaved. It was probably the first time in, probably a solid 6 months, if not closer to 9 months, since I've actually full on shaved. It has turned into I think it was the start of a COVID beard actually, but in the end, it sort of turned into a Parkinson's beard because I have discovered it is way easier to trim a beard than it is to shave. The other day when I shaved for the first time, I'm like, this is why the crap I don't do this. And you're just bouncing all over the place and trying not to cut yourself and make a mess of things. And I said, this is not worth it. So, and that's with a new fingal, no straight blades or nothing like that. That's just with regular new Gillettes. If you smack your face with those things too hard, which I've done, you will cut yourself. Good morning, Dorothy, Diane. Good morning, Chuck, Rosemary. Good to see you guys. Thank you. Staying healthy. I am as well. Cold down in London, Ontario, is it? What's the temperature there, Dorothy? It is, what is it in Winnipeg? It's minus 17 or minus 20. Minus 20 in Winnipeg this morning, Fahrenheit, Celsius. I'll get to where my wife is. Just a minute, Chuck. Nobody cares about the beard. Nobody cares about the dog. We want to know where the wife is at. Well, I'll tell you where the wife is at in just a minute. But yeah, so I haven't shaved for a long time, and I'm not going to ever again, maybe. We'll see. And the hats, well, we're back to my favorite hat this morning. This is one of my two probably favorite hats. I'm thinking that it may be time to wander out down to my buddy Luke Nolan at the haberdashery in Old Market Square in Winnipeg. If you're ever down there, stop in and see Luke Nolan. He's a great guy, good friend. Well, friend of mine, friend that I buy hats from time to time. So I'm thinking it's about time to wander down and see him and pick up a new hat because I just get bored with things, and so I wear my hats a lot, so I need something new. The puppy diaries, updating you on the puppy. And I think I'm gonna put this on my blog actually, so you might be able to catch up with me there on the puppy diaries, because I posted a few pictures online, but that doesn't quite do it justice. It needs to be a little bit more story told behind it. Good morning, Tim, from Ralph and Greg. Well, good morning, guys. Got the Super Walk National Hero right beside me. If you don't know this story, you need to go on and find Ralph on. Well, Greg, send me your contact information. I'll put this on my feed afterwards, so people can go see Ralph's story. But he has done a fantastic job of raising awareness for Parkinson's and raising funds. He is, I don't remember how old you are, Ralph. I think it's fair to say that you're a fairly old guy, though, right? You're probably 80s, somewhere in there. And he has walked a ton in his driveway, raising awareness and funds for Parkinson's. And he is an inspiration to me, and if you haven't heard his story yet, you need to hear his story. So I will get that, and I will put it in the notes here after we're done. Now back to the puppy diary. Bella, our beautiful dog Bella, who is running around the house right now and has a 3-pound bone that one of my children bought for her, and I can hear it because that's what she does. She picks it up, carries it around the house, and drops it on our hardwood floors. One of my children is supposed to be watching Bella right now so that you don't have to listen to that, but here we are. we all get to hear it. Bella and I went to the vet here 3 days ago for her regular checkup. She's gotten all of her shots now, her puppy shots. And my dear little puppy is 14.6 kilograms as of 3 days ago. If you do the math, that is times 2.2. That will get you 2 pounds. And that would be, folks, at 16 weeks of age, 32.12 pounds. I have adopted a monster. She is going to be a huge dog. And we love her. We are having a great time. She's doing really well. She is mostly house trained for the most part. There's still the occasional mistake, but overall she's doing really well. Very quite obedient. She's a good-natured dog, and we're getting along really well. But I think I'm going to create a little spot for her on my blog, on my webpage, and keep you up to speed a little bit there. Greg tells me that our buddy Ralph out on the East Coast is 80, and I hope to God that I am doing so well when I am 80, Ralph. So impressed. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Betty. Hi, Rick. Hope you're doing well this morning. So my wife is gone. She does these retreats. Yes, it's not all that. She does these retreats. Every year or two, she gets this bug in her bonnet that she needs to run off for a while. And that's fine. I don't really mind. It just tells you my state of mind. But she runs off so that she can hold up for a day or two, read, think, plan, rest, and I believe have a little bit of a space from Parkinson's. Now, that last piece may not be all that important because she's done this our entire married life, and we've been married 35 years. Good morning, Nora, Heather. Good morning. But I hate it when she's gone. It just bugs me, and has nothing to do with her. Has nothing to do with the retreat. Has nothing to do with the desire that she wants to go on a retreat, but it brings me face to face with the reality that I don't like to recognize, and that is how dependent on her I can be emotionally. And these aren't typically things that we want to talk about. And there's Bella. You hear Bella? Beautiful dog. I have no idea why she's barking right now. She's not supposed to be barking while I'm on with you, but she's barking. And my daughter texted me asking me if she should feed her, and I should probably answer that text and tell her that yes, she can feed her so that she will be quiet. So yes, these are the things that we do in this age of live things, right? So there we go. Now the dog is fed, or will be, and maybe she'll be quiet for us. Now, back to my wife and her being gone and my not liking it. It brings me face to face with the fact that it seems that the older I get and the further I progress with my Parkinson's, that I become more and more dependent on her. Now, I know that some are in a situation where they are physically dependent on their spouses, their partners, and that's a whole nother thing. So yeah, so that's where she's at. But not that there's not an upside to it, of course. There's definitely upsides to this. I don't know about you, but I find that I sleep way better when she's gone. Anyone else find it easier to sleep without someone in your bed? I know that's a little backwards. I know that when you first like back when I first got married, it took me forever to get used to having someone in my bed. Like it was just, this was my space. And it never has really completely resolved. Like last night, I went to sleep, did not move for 6 hours. At 5 o'clock, when Bella barked to wake me up to go outside to pee, was the first time I moved. When I got up at 6:30, I rolled over, stepped out of bed, took my blankets, flipped them back up, bed's made. When we're both at home, sheets are everywhere, bed's a nightmare, it takes 15 minutes to make the bed. Now, the other upside is that she is not a drinker at all, and that's neither here nor there, but she prefers not to have alcohol in the house, so we respect that, because I'm not a big drinker. I don't need to have alcohol in the house. But when she is gone, then it gives me and the kids a chance to have a beer together. But nonetheless, I still hate her being gone. I come face to face with this reality that it's difficult. When she left yesterday, I had forgot she was going. We had discussed it many times, and yet I still forgot she was going. And it came right out of left field that she was going to be gone for a couple of nights. And I'm like, I did not like it. I really didn't like it. And yet there was nothing about her or her being gone that's the problem. It's rather that I don't want to be alone. And that's borderline a problem. It is intriguing how we can become so dependent on our spouses, our partners, those who help us. How it can at times slip into an unhealthy place if we are not cognizant of our tendencies. Now, let me be clear. I find no fault in my depending on her wholeheartedly and unlike anyone else in my life. But, of course, I was given my own 2 feet to stand on as well. Now, the question is, who do you depend on? Who's in your life that you depend on, that you expect them to be there, you know that they will be there, you plan on them being there, and there are things in your life that wouldn't happen if they weren't there. Well, I want to ask you, does your tendency, like mine, tend to slip towards the unhealthy some days? If it does, it's important to acknowledge that. It's important to note it and take the steps necessary to correct it. Our goal in life is balance. That yes, I have been married a very long time by some standards, not nearly as long as others, but 35 years is a good run. I plan on staying married to this dear woman to the day I die. But in that requires balance. That we depend on one another, yes, but we also depend on one another standing on their own 2 feet, carrying my part of the load and not burdening her with more than is right or as should be. An unhealthy balance, and a healthy dependence, yes, but also a healthy ability to stand on our own 2 feet. So this next week is Valentine's. I'm not a fan of Valentine's. I find Valentine's mostly exists for somebody else to make money, but we can take Valentine's and we can turn it to something good. It's a chance to say thank you. Now, see, it's also Cheryl's birthday. Her birthday is right close to Valentine's, and so she often gets, in my opinion, ripped off because it all gets rolled into one, right? So she either gets Valentine's or she gets her birthday or some mishmash of the two. But what I want to encourage us this week is this: to keep our partners in Parkinson's, our spouses, our partners in life, top of mind this week. Let's take and put them right out front. To use Valentine's not as a goofy, gauzy, sexy, all but meaningless holiday, but rather as a deliberate reminder of why we love those who give so much to us. Because most of us with Parkinson's have people in our lives, whether it's our spouses or others, who give us so much, who do so much for us, that provide for us in ways that make our lives so much better, so much more full, so much more meaningful, that without them, we know that our lives would be a shadow of what they are with them. So I think it's important this week that we use Valentine's, or at least I want to encourage us to use Valentine's not as that hokey, corny thing, but let's make it an opportunity to put our partners, our spouses, those partners in Parkinson's who help us, whoever that is, whatever your situation in life is, whoever that is, let's put them first of mind this week. And let's do something to let them know how very important they really are to us. To be very deliberate in remembering them and doing something good for them. So let's use it as a reminder to say thank you. Maybe it's a chance just to back off a little bit, not be quite so needy. Ask for a little less, give a little bit more. Find ways to be present for them this week rather than expecting the opposite or the vice versa. Maybe they can't slip away for a personal retreat this week, but maybe, just maybe, you can give them a retreat of sorts, even while they're at home. So that's my encouragement for you this week, is to consider your care partners, your partners in Parkinson's, your spouses, your partners, your friends, those people who add to your life in such meaningful ways. Now, I want to tell you about a birthday party coming up, and I am super excited about this. U-Turn Parkinson's, in celebration of our 5th birthday, which is April 5th, 2021, we are throwing a huge celebration. We're holding a big party, and as a gift to our Parkinson's community, we're removing all the fees that we charge for any of the services here at U-Turn Parkinson's. And this is the first time that I've had the opportunity to kind of make this super public. It went out in our newsletter this week, so that was important. But yeah, I am really, really excited that as a part of our birthday celebration this year, we are taking this step to remove all the fees that we've charged for all of our services effective May 1st of this year. And to add to that celebration, now I will be holding a town hall. If you are a part of our community here in Manitoba, want to hear more about that, I'm going to be holding a town hall in the coming days, and there'll be emails and whatnot coming out to you as to when that'll be. But for everyone else, I would really encourage you to go to uturnparkinsons.org, check out our information there, see who we are, and get involved with our first ever parade for Parkinson's this year. This is our birthday party that we're throwing. It's also a sort of walk, but we're calling it a parade for Parkinson's, a Mardi Gras inspired parade to bring our community together and to help us celebrate our first 5 years and to launch us into our next 5 years. I like to say it's boas and beads, top hats and canes, a little bit of jazz, and a whole lot of razzmatazz. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be virtual, but it's going to be a great time nonetheless, raising awareness and some funds for U-Turn Parkinson's to help take it into the future. So go to uturnparkinsons.org, or for short, uturnpd.org, and there's lots of information there on that. You can register to be a part of it, or if you're not local but would like to help us, we'd be more than happy to accept your donation, and you would have our heartfelt thanks. Finally, PD Avengers. If you're not a PD Avenger yet, well, you know what? You're 1 in a million, and we need you to be a part of our million. We are looking to raise 1 million voices for Parkinson's by the end of 2022, and we need you to join us. If you would go to pdavengers.com, you'll find all the information that you need there. And we're not a charity. PD Avengers isn't a charity. It is simply an alliance looking to raise the collective voice of all people living with Parkinson's around the world. And I would be so thrilled if you'd go check it out and choose to become a PD Avenger today. Whether you have Parkinson's or not, does not matter. We simply need to raise 1 million voices to stand together so that collectively we can raise a loud voice and sing better services around wellness, more dollars invested in research so that we can find cures and therapies for Parkinson's, and advocate on behalf of those living with the disease. And World Parkinson's Congress. A virtual form of the World Parkinson's Congress is coming up this year. Keep an eye out for that. You can Google that if you so choose. I will be speaking at that. All the executive of PD Avengers will be speaking at the World Parkinson's Congress this year. This is the virtual event in 2022. If COVID will relent, we will be in Barcelona, Spain. And that is super fun. I have been to the last 3 World Parkinson's Congress. You need to be there. If you can go, it is one of the most fun, educational, fascinating events I've ever been to, because you bring together researchers, doctors, scientists, neurologists, every member of the healthcare field that you can think of, nurses, PTs, OTs, doctors, but most importantly, people with Parkinson's and their caregivers. And all of those people come together for a week-long seminar, a week-long conference. And it's an incredible opportunity to learn from one another, to hear things that you'd have never heard about Parkinson's, and to literally grow friends from around the world. I have friends because of the World Parkinson's Congress all over the world. And it's an incredible opportunity to learn from them, see how things work in different places, what happens. And if you'd like, there will be travel grants made available through WPC. And you can apply for those. We've been working on raising money so that we can specifically get young onsets, folks who are diagnosed with young onsets, to the conference. Now, it won't pay for everything, but it will pay for some. And then if you're really interested, give me a shout. Find me at uturnpd.org. It's tim@uturnpd.org, or go to the website. You can find our information there. And we'll talk about it. We're thinking about how we can try to get some of our community to Barcelona in 2022. I would love to take a group over. All right, folks, I have nattered on lots. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is next week. I'm doing something that I'm really looking forward to, that I hope will turn into kind of a regular event for us. I'm calling it Dr. Mather and Nurse Tim. And I think you'll find it interesting. We're going to talk about mild cognitive impairment next week from a doctor-nurse standpoint, and I hope that you will find it educational, fun, enjoyable, and just a good coffee with Tim. So Jennifer, I see you're here with me this morning. Good morning. It was such a pleasure to have you on the show last week. We had so many nice comments of you sharing your story and being brave enough to come on and share with us some of the struggles that you deal with. Had lots and lots of good comments. You were a real help and encouragement to the audience. So thank you for that again. So folks, until next week, have a great weekend. Hug those that you love and live your best. Persevere. Stay on your journey, because this race, your race, can be won as well. Until next week, take care. All the best. Bye-bye.